man, after 20 years of abuse, we've finally ridded ourselves of the New England Patriots. And here they are. Back in the AFC title game, and a heavy favorite on the road against the Denver Broncos as the Patriots get it done in that game yesterday. And look, again, the defenses showed up. You made the point last segment where there were opportunities for offenses here, but defensively, teams showed up. It was good to see the defensive side of the ball get some love. Credit to the Patriots. I come away from that game, and I don't know how you feel about it. When do we start having a conversation about C.J. Stroud?
About C.J. Stroud.
Bro.
Well, you had to start having it yesterday, I'll tell you that.
That was rough.
Talk about disappearing. Not only disappearing as the player that we thought you were going to be based off of the rookie season that you had, but showing up as the type of player that – did you find yourself asking the question of should they pull C.J. Stroud in this game?
I didn't, because I didn't think it was ever even a possibility. But afterwards, DeMeco Ryans was asked about it. C.J. Stroud was asked about it. Like, should you have been benched? And, it was,
he played that bad. It was that bad.
And he was also bad against Pittsburgh the week before.
He was, but not like this.
Yeah, that was.
He was bad against Pittsburgh, but and listen, give a ton of credit to New England's defense and to Vrabes and their staff's game plan against the Texans. I mean, this offense wasn't too difficult for them to deal with, but they did play their asses off. The New England defense did. They jumped out there and did what they needed to do. But C.J. Stroud, man, It was just moment after moment like, why are you throwing that? You're just throwing the ball up. Like, you feel pressure. Like, what are you doing? And you can't have that much of a fail of a game in that big of a game, on that big of a stage. It's so damaging. And now he has a very tough task and a very tall hill to climb in terms of being viewed and looked at as an elite QB from here on out. Like, you haven't even approached the conversation of you choked like to the level of maybe a Josh Allen or Lamar Jackson. Like, you're not even in that conversation anymore.
It's almost like he finds himself, and if you would have said this 2 years ago, people would have thought you were crazy. He finds himself having the same questions that people have about Bryce Young. And if you would have said that 2 years ago, people would have said, no, you're insane.
Offended.
You're insane.
Yeah.
But I come away from this year going, man, like, Bryce Young looked impressive at times. Like, Bryce Young, he made plays, like, he got them to the postseason. Yeah, they weren't a great team, but they were there, and they nearly beat the Rams, who could be going to a Super Bowl. And now we're looking at C.J. Stroud, and you've got to have the same questions and have the same conversations about him. And those are two guys that it was thought of because they came out of the same draft, because Bryce Young went 1 and C.J. Stroud went 2. There was a conversation of, man, did Carolina butcher that pick? And here we are a couple of years later, and what's weird about it is, and I didn't understand it at the time. So C.J. Stroud has the rookie season he has. He was fantastic. He's thought to be the next big thing. Guy's great. He's so great that their offensive coordinator, Bobby Sloa, gets all these head coaching interviews, gets all this love. Like, hey, that's a guy, look what he did with C.J. Stroud. That's somebody who you look at as a potential candidate to get one of these open jobs out there. The next year, C.J. Stroud struggles, and they fire him. And they make all these moves. And it's like, well, I mean, if C.J. Stroud comes back down to earth a little bit and teams start to figure him out, I get it. But do we have to make a move? Can the guy at least get a third year so we can see, which is more of a realistic representation of what C.J. Stroud is a quarterback? And it was like DeMeco Ryans didn't want to wait around. They made a move. They made a change. And I know that Nico Collins was out yesterday. But, man,
his tight end went out. Like, he didn't have all of his weapons. I mean, I get that. I understand that, but again, there's no defending the throws that he made that were getting picked off. There's no defending that. And I think some of the other throws that he made that didn't get picked off, there's just no defending the way he looked and the way he played. That's you can't get out of the way of that. Like, could he have done himself more solid by having those guys on the field? Sure. No doubt about it. He's probably a more effective player with those two playmakers, in particular his tight end and his one receiver. But Jonas, listen, they weren't able to get the run going. It was clearly going to come down to if he was able to make some plays in the passing game. And with that defense, again, I would have been a game manager of mass proportion. Do not throw the game away. Yeah. One of those touchdowns is a defense that they took the lead and went up off of a defensive interception. Like it just was he had the baddest look of all bad looks for a quarterback in a playoff game. Like it was a tough one seeing some of the things Caleb did, but if we're looking at poor play that really costed you, Josh Allen had a poor game. But, man, I felt like C.J. Stroud took the MVP of poor games by QBs.
Because I think the difference is with Caleb Williams, you look at it and you go, yeah, but he made big plays. Yeah, a couple of those throws, there was some miscommunication. He turned the ball over as well, too. But he made big plays. You saw him make special plays in big moments. And you come away from that and go, all right, there's a lot to like about this moving forward. And it's young. He's young. He's going through growing. It's like C.J. Stroud's been here 3 times. Like he's been to this round of the playoffs 3 times. This is the worst that he's looked. And that just feels like a bad spot to be in if you're the Houston Texans. C.J. Stroud spoke afterwards about his struggles and took accountability for his performance.
No, I look back and I just feel like I let people down, and not happy with that, and it hurts, and I'm not naive to it. I didn't play my best this year, but I'm gonna respond. I'm gonna keep my chest up, my chin up high, and I'm gonna just keep battling for something that I know I can. So I'm gonna get that done.
Yeah, it's gonna be a big offseason, man.
Bro, I don't know that I've ever sat and watched the game and was like, man, you got to pull him. Like I'm not on the ledge on C.J. Stroud. Like, oh, they got to go in a different direction. They might need to take a good, long, hard look at if they want to bring somebody in to compete for the job. I mean, I just think you cannot waste this defense. If you waste this defense, shame on you.
They are so good, man.
Yeah, you can't waste them.